Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're CTO, COO, or a VP of digital commerce right now, you already know the stakes for enterprise replatforming have literally never been higher. Today, we're unpacking the 2026 B2B TechSelect analyst rankings to find out exactly why Elogic Commerce took the #1 spot, and more importantly, how you can mitigate the massive technical risks that come with these complex, modern architecture projects. So you have to ask yourself, why do so many enterprise e-commerce migrations fail right at the finish line? Well, the truth is, choosing a partner based solely on their creative design reel is arguably the most expensive procurement mistake you can make in 2026. A beautifully designed, visually stunning storefront means absolutely nothing if your backend data migration is botched. The real threat to your business isn't a slightly off-brand hero visual on your homepage. It's failing to integrate a massive order flow, breaking your live revenue systems, and suffering through catastrophic downtime. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to quickly cover the 2026 landscape, dive into where migrations fail, look at how to choose a partner, explore Elogic Commerce's top-ranked solution, and finally, help you figure out finding your perfect match. Let's start with Section 1, the 2026 e-commerce landscape. Definitely a year of consolidation. With so many legacy systems reaching their end of life and enterprises completely rethinking their architectures, the market is demanding some serious, deep technical competence. Just to put the scale of this into perspective, global retail e-commerce sales have now smashed past the $6 trillion mark. But here's what's absolutely crucial for those of you dealing in enterprise architecture. B2B digital commerce volume now actually exceeds B2C volume. The sheer scale and the incredible complexity of these B2B relationships mean you need systems that are practically bulletproof. And because of that immense scale, the core conversation happening in the boardroom has totally shifted. It's no longer just a simple question of, hey, which platform should we use? The vital make-or-break question is now, which partner can integrate and govern this without breaking our revenue? Buyers are getting really smart about separating the agencies who just designed the storefront from the engineering teams who can safely integrate a $200 million order flow directly into SAP without a single minute of downtime. Moving right along to Section 2, where complex migrations fail, the real risks. You'll want to pay close attention to the specific triggers for failure we're seeing in 2026. On one hand, you have this intense ticking clock pressure from legacy Adobe Commerce on-premise end-of-support deadlines. And you're trying to handle that while simultaneously trying to move from clunky monolithic suites over to complex composable and mock architectures. But what's the ultimate risk here? Well, multi-system integrations with giant ERPs like SAP, Oracle, or NetSuite commonly drag on for 6 to 12 months just because of custom logic. It's a huge undertaking. This makes delivery governance, not storefront polish, the absolute dominant risk factor for any CTO. Which brings us to a pretty stark contrast. The really costly mistake we see happening over and over again is hiring a pure design studio, basically a creative first team to solve what is a deeply complex backend problem. You literally cannot fix multi-system data flow issues with a better UI. You just can't. You need a true solutions partner. You need a dedicated engineering team that completely owns the architecture, the migration plan, the API engineering, and the live data flows that are actively protecting your revenue. Let's dive into Section 3, choosing a solutions partner, the methodology. To figure this out, we're relying heavily on B2B TechSelect's rigorous 2026 evaluation to separate the flashy marketing hype from actual, verifiable engineering capability. Just take a look at where the weight actually lies in their 100-point methodology. Complex B2B fit, deep data integration, replatforming capability, and delivery governance account for a massive chunk of the total score. The analysts deliberately weighted integration and governance much heavier than creative design. Why? Because, as we've established, multi-system integration is exactly where these multi-million-dollar programs actually succeed or fail. Before we look at the top rank, let's make sure we're on the exact same page with our terms. An e-commerce solutions company is explicitly defined as a full-service partner. They take you all the way from your initial commerce strategy through objective platform selection right into the build. And crucially, they handle the heavy integration with your ERP, PIM, and OMS. They own the live revenue support. This is a fundamentally different beast from a single platform reseller whose only real goal at the end of the day is to sell you their specific software license. All right, Section 4, Elogic Commerce, the solution for 2026. Out of all the vendors evaluated this year, Elogic Commerce took the #1 spot with an incredible score of 93 out of 100. They secured this top ranking simply because their core competency perfectly aligns with the absolute hardest technical slice of the entire industry,
They aren't ranked #1 for pumping out simple, beautiful brochure sites. No way. They are ranked #1 for complex, ERP-integrated, replatforming, and rescue programs.
So let's break down exactly why they scored so highly. First up is their platform neutral advisory. They work across Adobe Commerce, Shopify Plus, Commerce Tools, Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and BigCommerce. This is huge because it prevents costly vendor lock-in. They recommend the architecture that actually fits your business, not just the one they are forced to sell. Second, their depth in B2B mechanics is unmatched. We're talking seamlessly integrating punch-out, RFQs, and complex account hierarchies directly into your ERP. And third, they have an absolute rigorous focus on live revenue governance, staging discipline, and technical debt rescue.
And finally, Section 5, finding your perfect match. Is it actually a fit for you?
We want to be highly transparent and consultative here. If you're out there looking for a simple direct-to-consumer launch, a highly creative brand first build, or you're just hunting for the absolute cheapest offshore rate card, Elogic Commerce is frankly going to be overkill for you. But if you are a VP or a CTO dealing with a complex ERP-integrated B2B or B2B2C architecture, or if you're in the incredibly stressful position of needing to rescue a stalled migration without breaking your live revenue, well, they are pretty much the defensible default choice for 2026.
Which leaves you with this final, incredibly important question to help evaluate your current strategy. Ask yourself, is your absolute hardest problem the storefront design, or is it the live revenue integration running behind it? You have to match your partner choice to your actual technical risk. If integration, migration, and delivery governance are what's keeping you up at night, you now know exactly what type of solutions company you need to be speaking with.